Today we're catching up with crypto news. I'm going to show you some things that I guarantee that you do not know. Also, if you've taken a bit of a step back recently, then this video will be even more helpful. I am Vosk. I'm a full-time crypto nerd. Without further ado, let's dig into it. I know, politics, so polarizing. But here's the good news. Donald Trump says he will stop hostility towards crypto in the US and embrace it, and he's fine with crypto and makes fun of Biden for not knowing what it is. If you're in favor of crypto, vote for Trump. Look, you can say whatever you want. The bottom line is we have a presidential candidate that supports crypto. May not be the only one, but step one, as far as I'm concerned, is having candidates that support crypto. So let's get some people that support crypto and then compare them. Because if you don't support crypto, I don't support you. And it's interesting, and even more interesting comments I got on this tweet. But Trump didn't support cryptocurrency in his previous term, but he does now. More of a question of why, including NFT collections him and his family have sold. Big pivot for some mining farms. AI-hungry tech giants can't build fast enough, says DL News. Bitcoin miners are starting to build their own AI fleets. They may soon start leasing their services to tech giants like Google, and the strategy opens a new revenue stream for miners that isn't dependent on Bitcoin's price. And in particular, this is talking about Hut8. And we're going to look at their price on Robinhood. But first, I want to tell you about a 3% cashback card. And you're like, bro, is this a burned-in ad? No, it's not a burned-in ad. But it is a link that supports the channel if you use it. But here's the deal: is this is crazy. The Robinhood didn't pay me to talk about this. I'm personally just going to get one of these, and I'm excited to talk about it because 3% cash back on all categories. Do you understand that you probably don't have a credit card that gives you 3% cash back? I'm not saying to buy anything on credit either. I buy everything on a credit card and then I pay it off. So what do I get? Free rewards. It's a system that takes advantage of people that don't take advantage of the system. Think about that. Do what you want to do. So Hut8, huge surge over the last year. Been pretty flat since then. This news just came out, not seeing much of a difference with the current price point. It's up like nothing today, which I find a bit odd given that news. I don't have Hut stock, just as a disclosure. I do have a lot of stocks, especially mining stocks and some Bitcoin ETFs and stuff like that. As always, here to disclose stuff. Naturally, you would expect that I would be into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, talking about crypto. Of course, I put skin in the game. Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital joined the S&P Small Cap 600, and the shares jump 18%. This is interesting. I mean, this is a big legitimization across, legacy financial markets to be added to stock indexes, right? To be able to easily publicly trade these companies that are entirely or largely linked to cryptocurrency, that was unheard of just a few years ago. And when it was possible, there were only a couple options. I think we're going to see a lot of mining farms pivot towards AI because there's such a huge demand for just the computer infrastructure to be able to do this. And if you know how to build a mining farm, you're going to be easy enough able to translate that into building some sort of basically mini or, off-brand data center. You understand? I mean, it's basically the building, right? Cooling, electricity, a good electric rate, having just the ability and the know-how and the drive to do these things, along with the capital that you need, because it is a capital heavy investment always across the board. All this stuff is expensive, but you're no stranger to buying expensive things if you mine, because miners are expensive. Buying a miner, buying a graphics card, it's not all that different. Obviously there's a bit more to it, but that's the gist crash course on that. We look at the emission of coins that are, at least the ones that are tracked here. Bitcoin obviously has halved, $30 million, about roughly in emission in the last 24 hours. Decent. Dogecoin still putting out $2 million, thanks to Tesla announcing that they will accept Dogecoin. Doge has done very well as far as rebounding recently, while a lot of other cryptocurrencies are a bit lackluster. Also, Casbah has been picking up some steam, which is a welcome a welcome sight for Casper miners like myself. They're putting out about $1 million in daily mined coins. And you see all the other cryptocurrencies here as well. One notable cryptocurrency that is not here on this list when I ran this is going to be Chia. There's a lot of daily emission in Chia, but it's not pulling the data for it there for whatever reason. Let's talk about one of the most controversial miners right now, and even they're going to be one of the most controversial miners of the year, probably. The GoldShell ALBOX, a device that cost them a couple $100s to manufacture, probably. Then they sell it for several $1,000s, and then you end up buying it for several $1,000s more than that. Well, that doesn't seem to make all that much sense now, does it? Let's take my 24-hour paid number here. So this is my ALBOX. I have this. This was the demo that GoldShell was giving out. So this is how much it was making before they shipped a bunch of them. I've had pretty static, pretty stable earnings here. So that's good. That's good for now. This is a miner, right? Just understand, we got ours from ASIC Marketplace. So I have a link out in the video description below. They have delivery of basically like now, as well as end of May, different price points. And we also have a coupon code down below that will knock this price down some as well. Also, Coin Mining Central is also selling this device. They have it priced right now at $9,000. And we also have a coupon code for that. So you can just go ahead and check out those links and codes down in the video description below. Of course, I appreciate when you guys support the channel and you use our links and things like that. It makes a big difference. But whether or not you want to buy this, I mean, it's entirely up to you. We look at the daily output here, emission of about 1.5 Bitcoin per day of new alpha mined coins. Let's click over to CoinGecko. And we will put in the ALPH. So we're down a little bit. The coin has trended down over the last 30 days. It's down 38%, which is impacting this daily mining profitability. I earned $43 in daily mining profitability in the last 24 hours. Remember, this thing costs, like $1 a day to run. It's basically, I think it's actually like 50 cents. It's nothing with these kind of profitability numbers. This coin just went on an absolute tear over the last year, but has been trending downwards. Of course, this miner was announced like at nearly peak prices of $3 a coin. So being down, right, 33% from then is a bad feeling, and we got to go up 50% to be back there. This is Fantasy.top. No relationship. You do need an invite code. I'll put it down below. Why do we bring it up? So if you follow DeFi Edgy, he's got takes and stuff like that. And this is a very, very, very bold claim. And what he says is that this DApp is at the intersection of several trends and narratives. People are waiting for the next good SocialFi app, right? Social finance. This seems to fit the bill. Very few good crypto native games. This is a top game finance. I mean, we just add fi to everything, right? Protocol. The Blast will probably drop their token by the end of May. Blast is the Blast network, right? Many people have been airdrop hunting that. Fantasy.top is the top DApp of the Blast ecosystem. Him, among other people, are calling for serious potential on this. And this could be one of those, I don't want to call it perfect storm, but good storms. And I really agree that like people are bored. We're bored in crypto right now. Like it was kind of getting crazy, and now it's kind of just like we went from a boil to now the pot's just simmering, and we're all like, okay, like are we gonna do the parabolic bull run thing? Where's the next op? What are we doing? So it's pretty much leaderboard, card packs, trading, marketplace, stuff like that, right? This is definitely in the degen sector. I want to mess around with this a little bit more, if for no other reason than just to try to become eligible for cryptocurrency airdrops, tokens, early user incentives and rewards. This isn't something I'm going to sit on here and this isn't going to be my thing. But I don't want to write off something just because it's not really exactly my thing. I'm looking for opportunities, not something to fill my spare time that I don't have with. Hello, BaseGPT, not Blast, but we drop in the L and the S and the T, and we added the S back, and now we have, that was terrible. We added an E. Enter BaseGPT. This is sponsored today's video. They position themselves as being ChatGPT with an added layer of privacy and security. So if you don't want to share your personal data, but you still want access to cutting edge AI models, they boast that they have a decentralized platform that prioritizes your confidentiality while harnessing the full potential of conversational AI. So what can you do with it? GPT-4 Turbo, educational, professional tasks, right? You can tackle things like university assignments. Would have been nice to have that back when I was in university. Generating insightful reports, drafting compelling presentations, elevating your productivity and learning. Staked users, and this is, what's the catch? What do they want? Well, they got their own token, that's what. Staked users have exclusive access to high-level AI assistance, making the tasks more efficient, right? They also have creative image generation. Use /imagine command to access the advanced image generation tool powered by DALL-E 3, designed specifically for artists and designers. The tool transforms simple text descriptions into detailed high-definition images, right? So AI art generation. And not only do the tokens give you more access, right, but they also, just doing a little basic testing earlier, they also earn rewards. There is a interest rate associated with staking the tokens. So let's do some image generation. So if you want to do image generation though, you need to stake at least 200,000 coins. So what is 200,000 coins? If you're thinking of a dog meme coin, that could be nothing. If you're thinking of Ethereum, that could be very expensive. So in order to unlock that function, you need to have, at the time of recording this, about $88 in their coin. Over the last week, their coin is up 10%. In the last month, it is up 100%. This is another chart off of Dex Screener where we can see that, remember, this is a new small coin. There's only 10 buys, 3 sells in the last 24 hours. There are only 27 holders of this cryptocurrency with 396 transfers. Their Telegram group has 54 members. So if you wanted to be early, here's an op. Check it out. If you want to, not financial advice, link in the video description below. Speaking of links and free stuff, there is the MeterBox giveaway with Ironfish. They're giving away an RTX 4090. You can purchase an Ironfish box set and get a whole lot of entries, which is really going to be the main way to enter. But you can also perform these other tasks, and if you're very lucky, it could work out well. I'm a big fan of pixel art. I mean, you've seen the background among other things we've created. So I like this. Good job, Lorvik. Bitcoin's hash rate has grown, and then it has slowed. Slows. The opposite of rapido, right? Hash rate has begun to taper off the network at the end of April. Remember, on the heels of the halving, the halving has truly cut mining profitability in half. It was slightly just buffered by rune activity, which is basically on-chain activity on the Bitcoin network. Not generally speaking, but it's a specific thing. If you don't know, that's the quick gist of it. Luxor has worked very hard to make a term, and that term is called hash price. Hash price basically says lower hash price, lower Bitcoin earnings. Hash price has plummeted. Okay, it is at all-time low of $44.43 a petahash a day, which basically means that you should be making 44 bucks a petahash that your mining farm has. So yesterday I registered 2.6 petahash, got a couple miners at a couple of different places. Let's check this out, 44.43 times 2.6. So we would be projected to earn $115 for this mining hash rate, right? So what was my mining reward? 124. So pretty close enough, right? Bottom line, Bitcoin miners, they're earning less. This is one of the big narrative shifts. Bitcoin miners are battling AI data centers for power. AI data centers consumed low amount of energy in 2023 compared to other data centers, but that's changing moving forward. AI demand is ramping up. New AI data centers are coming online around the world. So previously, Bitcoin miners did not have a lot of competition They're energy hogs that can go to remote places and profit. Well, if you can get a decent internet line out there, AI data centers can now do the same thing. It's remote compute work, much like Bitcoin mining. Based on their data that they compiled from these places, this is their projection for how this will change moving forward. I haven't checked this out. I just wanted to bring it up real quick. Apparently there's a 50% APY return on your USDT on the TON wallet, called their wallet earn. I'm not participating with this. I'm not going to participate with this. The rewards are not paid out in a stable coin. They are paid out in their token. I don't like stuff like this personally, but they boast that they have a prize pool for the rewards on this basically advertising inflation program that they have of 5 million TON tokens. Just a heads up, you do what you want to do. Here's some more heads up. I can give you this one real quick. Robinhood has been hit. This is from Bankless's articles. Robinhood got a Wells notice. What is a Wells notice? A formal notification issued by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to inform a person or company that they were involved in a completed investigation by a regulator. Not good, but it's really unlikely to be that big of a deal because, for one example, they have already erased their small loss on their Robinhood stock from a couple days ago when this came out. GBTC had the first spot ETF inflows. GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. It was kind of like a Bitcoin ETF before there were Bitcoin ETFs, and then Bitcoin ETFs happened, and people who were basically stuck and locked up in there withdrew in mass. So they still have to recoup $17.4 billion of outflow, but the bottom line is that they did have their first positive day, which, to be honest, is pretty big, pretty good for them at least. Is the cycle cooked? I don't think so. VCs versus retail? Are the venture capitalists stealing your upside? Coinbase, in their Bytes article, has talked about how venture capital is pouring back into the crypto technology. But before we talk about that, let's talk about these wankers. We got Gerardo, Thomas, Edwin, Tiffany, Edouard, and Brett. They're suing Coinbase under the guise of they sold them securities. And what they really mean to say is that they're bad at investing. And of course, it's in California, the worst state in the United States of America. Yeah, I'm serious. But we'll leave that at that. It's just, it's stuff like that. It's ridiculous. It stifles our industry and it wastes these companies' money. And all that does is translate to higher trading fees, less growth, less token opportunity, whatever. At the end of the day, nothing's guaranteed, even your life tomorrow. Congrats, the end. Moving forward, Bitcoin rebounded back above $60,000. Recent rebound, nice. VC's pouring money in, right? So let's look at what do they talk about happens next, right? What if futures markets suggest would happen? You gain perspective by looking where the pro traders think the prices are heading. Prices ticked back up, increasing demand for Bitcoin call options. Payoff prices rise to 75,000 or even 100,000. Deribit shows traders have locked in over 688 million in 100,000 strike call options across different maturities. They're saying traders are betting on the upside. Bitcoin has processed 1 billion transactions, an absolute landmark milestone. Bitcoin, what is essentially the OG, the godfather of cryptocurrency, continues to be a very good design that keeps on ticking by itself. Very cool, very impressive, very awesome, including when Bitcoin's dealing with a bunch of weird things like ordinals and runes on chain and things like that. Bitcoin ETF inflows have also picked back up. Big funds like BlackRock's iBit to smaller funds like Bitwise's BitB, and the entire spot Bitcoin ETF sector saw inflows rise in the last week. And for the first time since the BTC ETFs began trading, the biggest fund saw cash flows turn positive. GBTC, Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust ETF, has $18 billion under management and saw some inflows of 63 million, which I'm sure they're very happy about in a sea of red. They have huge management fees, which is one of the major issues. Some of their competitors are under 0.5%. They have more than 3 times that on average. Diamond hands for these ETF investors. Over 95% of the ETF investors hodled during a pretty nasty downturn. Yeah, you're going to be surprised with how volatile cryptocurrency is. People that put Bitcoin ETFs in their portfolio, like myself, are probably going to leave them there, right? I'm looking for the top to take some profits, but I really want to let this stuff ride for not days, months, but years, even decades. That's how I'm trying to really make it. What are the new technologies that VCs are backing, huh? Fundraising picking up steam. This is a big piece of a parabolic bull run. Basically, VCs need to pour money in, a bunch of stuff pops up, everything goes crazy. Opportunity. DePIN, whether you love it or hate it, or you're burned in the last cycle, or you thought you were burned or whatever, that's going to be leading the chart right here. DePIN projects are peer-to-peer networks. Individuals contribute resources, computing power, data storage, wireless connectivity, right? DePIN is basically the rebranding and the addition of things like Helium, if you are familiar with that. These VC firms are raising hundreds of millions and truly billions of dollars to pour into cryptocurrency. Looking at using unused GPU power, IO research, Nadix Network, Solana-based DePIN project raising $4 million last month. And the tokenization of real-world assets. RWAs, securitized startup, raised $47 million last week, led by BlackRock, which is already one of the leading tokenization firms with more than $600 million in assets on-chain. Homium, Avalanche-based platform, which raised a $10 million Series A round to help homeowners unlock equity by offering loans backed by their home's future price appreciation. What could go wrong? What could go wrong with that one? I just can't foresee anything. But the bottom line here, right, when I catch up on this news, my takeaway is, I'm still feeling good. I'm still feeling bullish with the sector. I mean, that's a lot of money being raised. That's a lot of money being poured in, and people, the average whoever, the average Joe, it gets too set on like the day-to-day prices or, the coins aren't up that much this year or whatever. But what's happening right now that wasn't happening a year ago? Let me tell you, because I've been here during both. There were not projects raising millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. There were not millions being poured into Bitcoin ETFs. There were not all these new projects with a bunch of new funding building. All we had was the echoes of the previous bull run. All we had were projects that were looking to survive, not thrive, right? And as the opportunities come back, the marketing picks up, and it just goes viral in every way, shape, and form, which leads to, which I'm hoping, right? Nobody knows, not financial advice, leads to price appreciation and things like that. So we'll just have to see where it goes, but it's looking good. It's an election year. That is going to really heat up and drive a lot of news and narratives. And while I think everyone kind of wanted 2024 to be the year, I think it's 2025. But that doesn't mean that I want to be on the sidelines this year. We'll see. I don't know. A lot of my bases are loaded already. I'm ready for this stuff to go and take off. I never really take a day off from crypto, so I've been here for a while. See, we go down, we go up, and it's and I think we've been through the worst of the recent times. And ETFs in particular established such a new high bottom to Bitcoin. Unless something catastrophic happens, like chain breaks. But we just passed 1 billion transactions. That's crazy. So I'm trying to pass 1 million subscribers. And I'm trying to make good content. So I'd love if you could click subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment. Let me know what you liked about this video. What do you think is some news that should have been covered but wasn't? What do you want me to break down and check out in the next video? At the end of the day, the channel's here for you guys, right? I want to make the content that you want to see, and also stuff that I find interesting. So there's a balance, right? You gotta find the balance there. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.